This video is an overview of the email editor outside of the campaign editor. So just to confirm, you can still write emails within your campaigns in the left-hand menu. However, this video explains how to use the email section for the email builder. So when you click on this link, you'll see this screen here, marketing email, and I'm going to talk through the general way this works in this video, and then we'll have separate videos talking about some of the more advanced features of how you use this email builder section. So you'll see on the left-hand submenu here, you'll see all emails. This shows you all your email templates. We have one example here called database re-engagement. Whilst that's selected, you can click on that and it'll open up the editing of that email. You can also click on the edit button. You can clone that email to create a second version of that email here in your location. And under the actions area, you will either be able to share the email to another location if you have multiple accounts, or you can click on the view button and that'll open up the email in a new tab just so you can preview what it looks like. You can archive it, or you can completely delete it. Okay, note that if you do delete it, you will be required to prompt. For example, here if I click delete, you will get a warning here. So you can't accidentally delete an email. There is a second prompt there just to keep you safe. And one brand new feature also is if you click on the white space here of any of your emails that you've created, it'll actually bring up the email details on the right here, and you'll see a preview of the email, and then you'll see a ton of statistics in terms of who it's been sent by, open rates, click rates, etc., performance of that email, click performance, deliverability, and some other example stats just there. To close that, to get back to the editing that I showed you before, just click on this gray X up here and it'll take you back to the normal menu. Note that it says underneath it when it was updated and also by who. When we go into the editor later on, you'll see that you can actually see a version history of the emails and you can revert to previous versions, and they will include the details of when it was edited and which user of your location. So if you have multiple team members, it'll track who updated the email and when, and you'll also be able to revert back to previous versions if you prefer one of the previous versions. So we will look at that in a minute. First, we're going to look at the other tabs here. Here in scheduled, you'll see any emails that have been scheduled to send but have not yet sent. And in the sent tab, you will of course see any emails that have been sent here. And of course, your archive section is where those emails will go. If you choose to archive it here under actions and click archive, that will show there. So note with archive, you can still recover the email and use it again. If you delete it, it is completely gone and you cannot recover it. Now, it's important to note that these scheduled and sent features that I just mentioned are only for the emails that you have sent and scheduled within this email builder itself. Okay, because there are a couple of other ways that you can send these emails, which we will cover towards the end of this video in terms of the other places that you can send from. But for right now, let's dive in and have a quick overview of how the email editor works and how you can send emails from within here. So we're going to create a new email from scratch by this green create email button here. And we're going to select one of these, we can select one of these templates if we want, or we can start from scratch. Okay, so for this demonstration, I'm going to select this template here. In another video, we'll walk through the exact details of how to build your email, but this overview video is all about how to actually get those emails sent off. All right, so suffice to say that you see your main editing canvas here on the right. This is a drag and drop editor, meaning you can move elements to where you want them to go, similar to what you'll experience in the funnel builder. And then on the left-hand side, you have the area that you can adjust the settings of any element. And you can, of course, add completely new elements in terms of layouts, being the number of columns of a section, and elements being text, image, buttons, dividers, social icons, and a footer area. Okay, so that's a general explanation of how that works. Again, we will cover that in more detail in another video. Once you've got your email ready to go, you can go into the next stage of settings. Oh, just before we do that, I will just point out a few other features here. One is that you can edit the name of the email simply by double clicking here and renaming it what you want to call it. And click away from that, and then we can hit save up here. Now, before we go to settings, a couple of things here you can see. You can use the send test email button here. You can type in a from address and a to address and the subject of how you want it to appear in your inbox. Note that if you are sending it from your email to your email provider may just pick it up as spam because it looks very suspicious. So you may want to choose a second email address that you own to send to your email as a test, just to make sure that it gets through. But if you get some sort of warning when it comes through because you're sending from your own email, that's totally fine. It won't affect the deliverability when you send this for real. So that's how you send a test email. Also in the actions, you can preview, which will open a window here you can see here, and you can preview how the email will look on desktop, tablet and mobile on the far right, and you'll be able to see the to from subject line. You can go back to the builder, and you can also, as previously mentioned, see the version history. So here we only see like a few versions of what we've created just here. And we could potentially, if there were some drastic changes to, from version 1, we can click on that, see what it was like, and click restore this version to go back to that version. Note that if you do that, you'll notice when you go back to the version history, you can still access the previous versions of where you were at. Okay, so you can move forwards and backwards in terms of revisions of the email. The next thing we'll look at is the settings button here. So from here, this assumes you're going to send the email from either here, or this does come into play if you're sending this email in bulk from the contacts/smart lists area, which I will cover at the end of this video. So here you would, for example, put your details in. So we could say, for example, this is coming from me here, and I could just make up my email address, the subject line of how you want it to appear. The preview text is the small amount of text that some email providers such as Gmail will show in the list of emails that appears in someone's inbox. It'll often show the subject as well as a small preview of what the email is. So instead of it just picking up whatever random text is at the top of your email, you can actually customize this with custom text as to what's in the top of the email, or rather what you want it to show as the top of your email, but it's just this field here. The internal email name is what we labeled it before. The only people that see this is yourself and your team in terms of recognizing this email in a list of emails. And also when you go to use this template in both the smart lists bulk actions area, or if you are using this for the campaign editor as part of an automated sequence of emails, this is the name that you're going to refer to here and select from the list. Okay, we're going to save this, and then we can progress to send or schedule. So send or schedule, you have a couple of options here. You can simply click on all contacts to send it to everybody. You can search specific contacts, or you can send by tag. All right, so for example, we could send to everyone with the blog tag, and then say select all 308 contacts with blog, and we click that, and now we've selected 308 recipients. Or you can send it to a smart list. So if you have set up smart lists in your contacts/smart list area, you'll be able to select that smart list here and use that for your recipients. Once you've done that, you've got two options. One is you can just hit review and send to send it off, or you can schedule it for later. So you can simply put the date of when you want it to go and the time, and go review and schedule. So review and send will go right now. Schedule for later will go review and schedule. So let's go with review as if we're sending it off in 5 minutes. And from here, you'll get a confirmation of who it's going to come from, what email it's going to come from, the subject line, the preview text, how many people are going to go get it, and exactly when it's going to send. From here, you can either hit the send icon. If you selected send now, you'll hit send down here. Or if you selected schedule for later, you can hit schedule just here. So if we hit schedule there, and we then exit from here, we will now find that we have an email here in the scheduled area. And you can click on this and it will take you to the bulk actions area of the platform, and you can either delete it or you can edit it from here. So if you've made a mistake, you can click edit and you can change as to when this is going to go, or you can hit this X here to completely delete that item from scheduling. So that's a general overview of how to use the email builder in the email section itself. So there is another video talking through exactly how to craft that email and design it with the builder. What I'm going to do at the end of this video right now is show you the places that you can send emails other than right here in the email builder itself. The first one is in the contacts area. So if you click on the left-hand menu in contacts and click on contacts/smart lists, when you're in this area here, and again there's a tutorial video about the contacts area smart list, but one of the bulk actions is to send an email. So you can select whatever records you want. So let's say hypothetically we're going to select just the first 20 on this page. We can then use this email icon here to send email. And once you do that, you can either create an email from name, from email, email subject, and just type your email in here. Or you can select from one of your email templates just here. So for example, we could choose that example email tutorial we just sent, and you'll see it automatically pre-fills with the name, the email sender, and the subject line example from the builder. And then from there, we can either send all at once, send at a scheduled time, or send in drip mode. Again, those options are explained in how to send emails from the Smart List contact area. Once you have scheduled or sent from this area, the place where you can access future scheduled emails or emails that have been sent is actually the same as the email builder, which is on your left-hand menu under contacts in contact requests. What will load here is initially your information on any contacts that you've uploaded, but also you'll see this bulk actions button here. And this is where you'll see a summary of either scheduled, or you can click on here and select completed and see completed bulk actions. And in fact, here we see a bulk email that we had sent earlier, and we also see the one that was cancelled just a few moments ago in this video. Also, when sending through this method, you'll see this button here to show stats as well, which will show you the deliverability rate and the click rate. Plus, you can actually click on the numbers of each of these areas of how many people it was delivered to, for example, and it'll bring up a list for you of exactly who is in that category, contact by contact. So that's the second place that you can send emails from, is the actual contacts smart list area. So we've got sending from the emails area itself, the contacts/smart lists area, and finally, the other place you can build is if you navigate to marketing and campaigns in the left-hand menu. When you're building a campaign, so for example, let's have a look at an example campaign just here. So we've got one just here called test email. When we're crafting an email in here, so let's say we were to add an event and choose email, we can either write our email subject line in here and write the email here as shown in the other campaign email builder video, or you can select your template of what you built here in your email builder. So here, for example, we see the example email tutorial, and it'll bring up a preview of what that email will look on mobile, and that is then the content of that email. If we hit save, will now become part of that automated campaign. Note that whatever you set as the subject line here will override any subject that you've set in the email builder right at the beginning. Okay, so the subject line you can set here as it's appropriate to that particular campaign. So we'll save that now, and we'll see here we have email to, and it tells us it is a template, tells us the subject, but if we want to see what's in it, we have to hit the edit button. So that completes this initial overview of the new email builder and how you can send those emails from the email builder, from the contacts smart list area, and also insert those custom built emails into the actual automated campaigns area.